Hello, guys. It's your boy, Classy Seb here, and I'm gonna do just kind of talk about what's going on in the NFL, some narratives and stuff that's going around the league after 2 weeks. I wanted to do a video after week one, but got a little busy and thought, let's take 2 weeks, evaluate all these teams, see what's going on, and then decide to start talking about stuff because it's been a really short off season. Well, not a short off season, I guess a short preseason, well, no preseason at all. Training camp was cut short with Corona and everything going around. It was very, very weird off season, and honestly, I think it's starting to show because a lot of these teams seem to be out of sync. So, like, take for instance the Buccaneers. Tom Brady doesn't seem to be on the same page as everyone right now. I mean, there were some moments where it looked like he was getting it, but Bruce Arians runs a very complicated system. A lot of those receivers has option routes, and he's still getting adjusted to that, and that's honestly why I think he's struggled a little bit. But I do think the Buccaneers will be just fine. I don't think they'll win the Super Bowl or get close to the Super Bowl, but for any Buccaneers fans worried, I wouldn't be too concerned. Tom Brady's a very smart guy, and I think that he'll pick up the system in a few weeks. And another thing going around is the injury bug. We've seen many stars go down: Von Miller, Nick Bosa, Solomon Thomas, Malik Hooker, Cortland Sutton, then some guys that are going to be out for just a little while, like Drew Lock, Christian McCaffrey. I mean, it's been pretty rough. And Le'Veon Bell, too, yes. But Le'Veon Bell has honestly just been a straight-up disappointment. Should have never taken that year off and, tried rapping in his kitchen. Gosh, it's kind of amazing how guys just throw away their careers nowadays and then sign, with the Jets, and the Jets just give them money. But yet again, the Jets are going to jet. Oh, there's Robbie Anderson, too, scoring a touchdown. The Jets should have kept him. Anyways, so I'm gonna address a few narratives and things going on around the league in depth, but I also want to address just a few things shortly. The Saints, they need to get it together. They've been playing really sloppy. A lot of penalties last night against the Raiders. It was terrible. Penalty after penalty after penalty. They just kept shooting themselves in the foot, and I was just like, what's going on here? Then Malcolm Jenkins had a rough game. He's getting a little up there in age, and it was just a bad night for the Saints. And Drew Brees does not look the same. The velocity on his throws have been going down over the past few years. Last night, he just did not look very good, and without Michael Thomas, his little security blanket, it's really showing he's struggling. And they need him back ASAP. I don't know if he'll play against the Packers next week. Hopefully not. but yet again, I also kind of do want him to play against the Packers because the Packers, I need to see that challenge being brought to that defense because the defense has been pretty shaky. But anyways, and another narrative I would like to address is, I've already addressed the Buccaneers, but the Jaguars, man, Minshew will not go down, and I'm going to talk about this later, but gosh, man, Minshew is just he is the man of the people, and I think he's really going to show out as the season goes on, and the Jaguars are not going to be able to tank for Trevor Lawrence or whatever they're trying to do, but we'll talk about that later. And the first thing I really want to address is we're going to start with the Eagles and what's going on with Carson Wentz. What a rough start it's been for the 2020 Eagles. Carson Wentz has taken a huge step backwards, quite unexpectedly too, because he is a guy who was an MVP candidate just 3 years ago, and now he's looking like he doesn't know how to play football. Well, actually, let's take that back. It looks like he's trying to run a one-man show. This guy has been trying way too hard. He's just trying to do too much, honestly. He's forcing balls when he doesn't need to force them. He's trying to make throws that just he doesn't need he's just doing too much, and it's really hard to watch because Carson Wentz is so talented. I love Carson Wentz. I love watching him play and stuff, but right now I don't want to watch him play. He's been terrible. I mean, on 1st and 10, he's forcing throws and throwing interceptions, missing targets. I mean, I just don't get it, honestly. I really don't. I get the team has been injured. I get that. I get his offensive line is terrible. As you can see right here, Redskins are eating this man alive. This guy might be dead by week 4, maybe even week 3. I mean, don't get me wrong. He has he's not getting much help from the offensive line, but he's not doing much help for himself either. He's holding the ball for way too long, and he's forcing throws and causing turnovers for his team when you're up 17-0 against a team with no name, and you let him come back and win. I just don't get it. it's so frustrating because Carson Wentz, gosh, I want to like really support this guy and say, look, this guy's he's the shit. He's good, but like, I mean, he's been terrible this year. There's no other way to put it. And I mean, if he keeps this up where he's trying to do everything himself, trying to be the hero, it's like he's trying to prove something. Honestly, I feel like he hears all this outside noise. Oh, he can't stay healthy. Oh, they should have kept Nick Foles. He's letting this get to his head, and he's coming out here and just like, all right, you want to see me throw the ball? Boom, and just like tries to hit. Like, I just don't get it, man. I'm not even an Eagles fan. It just poor EDP. Like, who knows what that man's going through right now? Look, if I'm the Eagles right now, and I'm Doug Peterson, I sit down with Carson Wentz one-on-one, and I'm like, look, what are we not doing for you? Like, what do we need to do? What's not working? Like, let's fix this. Because they even asked Doug Peterson, why is Carson Wentz regressing? He says, that's a really good question. I don't even know. Like, I don't know what's going on with this team, but if Carson Wentz keeps this up, he's going to get himself kicked out of Philly, and they're going to be calling for Jalen Hurts' name, and I don't care how much Howie Roseman or whatever his last name is, their GM Doug Peterson. I don't care how much they say that they just drafted Hurts to be a backup. You don't trade up to draft a backup quarterback in the second round when you have Carson Wentz on especially on a large contract that he has for that team. You don't do that, all right? That's like you're saying something. You don't believe this guy can stay healthy. You don't think he's the answer. I don't know what, but they need to fix it fast. Well, particularly Carson Wentz needs to fix it fast because you have a few decent pieces around you. I know your offensive line isn't doing the best for you. Look, let's try to make up for that. Just don't hold the ball for as long. Get some quick passes out there, and you'll be fine. But if you keep this up, you will not be the starting quarterback after this season. And I know it sounds crazy, but it's the truth. It really is. If he plays like this the rest of the year, out of here. Now let's move on to a quarterback who I am very impressed with this year, Joe Burrow, Mr. Golden Boy himself, cigar smoking Joe Burrow, straight out of LSU. So, Joe Burrow is obviously the starter for the Cincinnati Bengals going in. Little competition. Ryan Finley's not going to do anything. So, we come into this season, not a very good team around him, really not. But this man, look. I'm going to try to keep my excitement in a little bit, but I love this guy, all right? This guy is his confidence and his poise in the pocket is like something I have not seen in a long time from a rookie quarterback. This guy has, I don't know, and he has some sort of silent swagger that, there's just something about him, man. He's special, all right? This guy's been making great throws, he's been going through his reads properly. He steps back there. I mean, not even with the best supporting cast around him. I mean, yeah, you could say, oh, A.J. Green. Look, look at that. He slipped right there. He's only a shell of his former self. He's dropped a couple passes. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say Burrow's been perfect on all of his throws, but for a rookie quarterback and the way he's led this team so far, look, call me crazy. 5 years from now, or maybe even 3 years from now, Joe Burrow's a top 5 quarterback in the NFL, all right? I know it's only been 2 weeks. You could call me overreacting or not, but this guy is the real deal. In Cincinnati, they cannot mess this up, all right? They need to get this guy an offensive line because this guy is going to get murdered behind the current offensive line that he has right now. But look, you look at Cincinnati. You got Tyler Boyd, solid young player right there. You got T. Higgins, all right? There's 2 weapons for you right there. And then you have Joe Mixon, who just signed a contract extension. Boom. Got a running back and 2 solid receivers. And then an aging A.J. Green, but A.J. Green can mentor these young guys because, honestly, look, I don't see A.J. Green being around for much longer. And it really sucks because he's a guy that I grew up watching, He was a rookie around when I was, in 4th grade, and I've seen him go out throughout his career and just kind of had it wasted. But that's besides the point. Cincinnati, what they need to do is, right now, let Joe Burrow do his thing. Look, a rookie doesn't get that captain patch for no reason. This guy is the future. He's the real deal, and I know it's only been 2 weeks, and I'm going to just keep repeating myself, but I'm telling you right now, Joe Burrow, do not think, don't sleep on this guy and don't, pass him over, okay? This guy is the real deal. I mean, oh, if Cincinnati didn't screw up that field goal against the Chargers week 1, like they probably would have won. If I'm not mistaken, they were down by 2. Look, I don't have time to watch every game. I'm a college student, all right. I try my best, and I watch the film of it. And, read reports. You see, look at all the advanced stats and stuff. All that fun stuff. But Joe Burrow played well against a very tough Chargers defense that just gave Mahomes a lot of trouble, and so. I don't know. I'm just excited about it. The Cincinnati is a team I actually want to watch play this year because of Joe Burrow. This guy is he's the shit. I mean, God, just look at him. If you sit back, look at that. Right dropbacks, boom, right on the dime. You might be thinking, okay, it's not that hard of a throw, but when you really sit back and break down a lot of NFL throws, if you're just a casual fan, you may think that it's not that special, but when you break it down, you're like, wow, this actually takes a lot. Look, play action, right there, wide open AJ Green. All right, but it's these simple plays that you see him making. He's going through his reads. All right, and look at this. He's going to drop out to his right, looking, runs for it. Look, I don't know the play heart for heart, so don't but. He's making smart decisions, and and look at his pocket presence and awareness is something I have not seen from a rookie quarterback in quite some time. Now, he did get tripped up right there, but I just I love watching this guy play, and I know I'm kind of repeating myself over and over again, but I just cannot stress it enough. Don't just think, oh, it's the Bengals, they're going to ruin him, and he's going to suck. No, this guy is the real deal, and I highly suggest you sit down and watch a Bengals game sometime this year. You'll be in for a special treat. And as I'm just sitting here watching these highlights with you guys, because I've always already watched them, but man, I just look at this guy. He's just so poised in the pocket, and just think a year ago from when the way Cincinnati was playing, it just seemed like only 2 guys showed up, honestly. But Cincinnati fans, you should be very excited for the future. Packers fans, all right, look, say it with me now. Aaron Rodgers is a bad man. All right, look. This Packers offense has opened up the 2020 at number 1 in points scored per game and number 1 in yards. Now, I know it's only been 2 weeks, and look, they played the Vikings, who were down a couple guys and had no corners, and then they play a Lions defense that just playing out kind of sucks. But you still can't ignore the fact that the Packers have balled these first 2 games. I mean, Rodgers is on a mission this year. Aaron Rodgers is a very petty guy. If you piss him off, you're in trouble, okay? This guy is always out there trying to prove something to somebody. This guy has been playing with a chip on his shoulder this year. I mean, by drafting Jordan Love, we told Aaron Rodgers that we don't think he has anymore and that we're already prepared for him to leave. And he's like, all right, look, I'm not going anywhere anytime soon, and I'm about to show you guys that you made a mistake by not getting me help. I'm just going to come out here and do it myself and I'm going to kick ass, and that's what he's been doing. I mean, I know week 2, you look at his numbers oh, what, that's his kick-ass tour? That's his revenge tour? No, look, Aaron Jones went off against the Lions. All right, there was no stopping that run game, so Rodgers didn't have to put up those crazy numbers, but he was sharp. He's missed a couple throws here and there, but every quarterback misses some throws, and I mean, he's had some receivers drop stuff. Marquez Valdes-Scantling, even though Marquez Valdes-Scantling has made some big plays, the man has also had some critical drops, and so has Jay Sternberger. But Aaron Rodgers is on a mission, and I think that next week they play the New Orleans Saints on Monday Night Football. The Saints might have Michael Thomas, they might not, but that's besides the point. Oh, look at that email from Professor. I wonder if we have class tonight. I don't know. It just says class tonight. I am a college student, by the way, guys, so I don't know how often I'm going to be doing these videos, but I will try my best. Anyway, the Packers. The defense has been shaky. I'm telling you right now, the Packers are the best team in the NFC, and I'm just going to go ahead and say it right now. If the Packers continue to play like this, they will go to the Super Bowl. I can't guarantee they'll win it, but the Packers will go to the Super Bowl. They will beat the Seahawks in the NFC Championship. All right? I know it sounds crazy. We're only 2 weeks in. Calm down. You're overreacting. Look, Aaron Rodgers, my idol. This guy is a petty guy, all right? He's on a mission. He's going to kick ass this year. Don't expect the Packers to slow down anytime soon. Aaron Rodgers and Aaron Jones for co-MVP 2020. All right, I'm just kidding. But in all seriousness, Packers fans, we should be very excited for this, and hopefully the defense can shore it up a little bit. The Smith Bros. Honestly, the Smith Bros will start getting it going and start rolling, and I think we'll be unstoppable. Honestly, I don't see anybody taking down the Packers this year in the NFC, not even Seattle. Let Russ cook. That's what Seattle fans have been dying and screaming at Pete Carroll, and it seems like their prayers have been answered. Through the first 2 weeks, Russell Wilson has been nearly perfect in 2020. Now, look, I've always been a big Russell Wilson fan, even though I will forever hate Seattle for the 2014 NFC Championship game. I cried so much. Little 12-year-old Sebastian cried like a little baby after that game. I will never get over that. Let's just, not talk about that. But Russell Wilson, man, what? I think he has a 75, 80% completion percentage rating. He has 11 incompletions and 9 touchdown passes so far through 2 weeks. All right? That's insane. This guy, look, I don't know if he's playing with a chip on his shoulder or not. I mean, I know he's kind of always had that chip on his shoulder because people told him he was too short, got drafted in the 3rd round, whatnot. But this guy has never received an MVP vote, but I think that's going to change this year. This man is so good, man. I love watching him play. The way he just runs around, he's so fast and shifty. And then DK Metcalf, who is not human. That man is just, he's on a different level. DK Metcalf also owns Stephon Gilmore, who, by the way, won Defensive Player of the Year last year. Metcalf made Gilmore his son. All right, Gilmore is no longer Stephon Gilmore. Stephon Metcalf Jr. This team was so good on offense, especially against the Patriots and We love getting random spam phone calls in the middle of recording, and for some reason it literally turned off my. It continued recording, but it recorded the phone ringing as well. So that's lovely. Anyways, Russell Wilson. Lights out. He's been the best quarterback so far in 2020. Look, no hate to Mahomes, no disrespect to him, but it's Russell Wilson's show right now, and we're all here to watch it. But now there is one issue with Seattle, that defense. All right, look, if there's anything that's going to be their downfall, it won't be because of that offense. That offense has a strong running game, and the passing game is just unbelievable right now with Metcalf and Tyler Lockett. And then, some of these other guys I've never even heard of, David Moore I've heard of before, but then some other guy, I don't even remember the dude's name. Look at that. Wilson, man, best deep ball thrower right now in the league too. But let's address this defense. I would first like to start off by saying that Jamal Adams is the best safety in the NFL. This guy is from sideline to sideline. And honestly, I don't even think it's close. This dude is a beast. All right, this guy's impact that he's had in the run game and blitzing and just his pure presence, you have to be on alert for. Because honestly, if I'm going any team having to face Seattle this year, yes, there's Bobby Wagner there in the middle, but I'm worried about where's Jamal Adams. Every single play, I'm looking on down the field and where's Jamal Adams? Is this guy where's he positioned? Because this guy will wreak havoc on anything that you run against them. All right, this a game changer. They gave up 2 first-round draft picks for him. Worth it completely, in my opinion. This guy is going, and he's going to get a huge payday after this season because best safety in the NFL. This guy has just already made his presence known on that Seattle defense through 2 weeks, and I already consider him an early candidate for Defensive Player of the Year. He's been that good. And but still, that he can't fix everything on that Seattle defense. Bruce Irvin just tore his ACL. He's out for the year. They have not been able to generate any pass rush besides Jamal Adams, really. Jamal Adams is now the best player on that defense, in my opinion. Yes, I know Bobby Wagner's there, and Bobby Wagner's an outstanding player. Do not get me wrong, but this is Jamal Adams' defense now. And it's kind of fitting considering the Legion of Boom's all gone. Earl Thomas decided to sleep with a brother and his girl, and oh my god. But look, all right, but in all seriousness, Seattle's a very good team going forward, and I think they're number 1 or 2 in the NFC along with the Packers, and I don't even think it'll be that close. Packers, Seahawks will run away with the conference this year. And as you can see right here, let's just look at it. This is obviously highlights with the Jets, but this is what Seattle signed up for, and this is what they have gotten so far. And Seattle's a team that I'm just so happy sports are back, and I am never going to take for granted having sports again. No, I will watch every game, and I don't care who's playing. All right, we just got to appreciate guys like this too, especially because football's back, baby. Now it's time to talk about everybody's favorite team, the New England Patriots. Tom Brady is finally gone. The AFC East can rejoice, but now you have another problem, Cam Newton. Now Cam Newton's obviously not what he used to be. Like, I think we can all admit that, but he definitely it's nice to see him back and actually, like, he kind of looks somewhat like his old self. I mean, when the Patriots signed Cam Newton, I was very skeptical because I was just like, all right, like, is this guy gonna start like get a bunch of things going in the locker room and mess up the culture? But he's been great so far. Honestly, he seems to be liking it there, and he just looks happy. I mean, he's been running free, throwing the ball, slinging it, down the field, and it's nice seeing him back because, he hasn't played in a couple years, and he's a very fun player to watch. As you see him right here, he's just like, he can throw again. Like, he looks good, honestly. This Patriots offense has looked very good this year. I mean, the defense has been spotty at times, and Stephon Metcalf is reigning Defensive Player of the Year. He's gotten burned a couple times. Metcalf, did that to him, but they're missing a lot of starters on defense, and that. Just overall, that team is not what it used to be, but they've looked very strong these first 2 weeks. Against Miami, look, they took them out. It wasn't too much of an issue, honestly, to beat the Dolphins. But going against Seattle, a lot of people really thought Seattle would run away with it, but it came down to the very last play on the goal line where they actually ran the ball and it didn't work. How ironic, honestly. But it's nice to see Cam back out there running the ball. He almost threw for 400 yards against Seattle. And look at Robert Kraft, all clappy and happy. Yeah, he misses his son, though. But if I'm a Patriots fan, though, I don't know what to think going forward. Because do they keep Cam after this year? I really don't know. I don't even know if it depends on how successful they are. Because it's really hard to tell, because I honestly think this is the Bills' division now, but you cannot get rid of Bill Belichick that easily. Bill Belichick's a mastermind of football, and he will play games with you in your head. You will not, you're not going to deceive him, or very, very rarely will you deceive him or be able to outcoach him. So you just really got to outplay him on the field. And so, well, obviously he's not playing, but you get what I'm saying. The Patriots, I could see them as a wild card team, but they're not a team that's going to get very far in the playoffs or win a Super Bowl anytime soon. But for now, Patriots fans, just sit back. Just know that you've had a lot of success over the past 20 years. Enjoy watching Cam Newton run all over NFL defenses again. All right? And don't worry about Tom Brady, all right? He's not going to do anything in Tampa. Chargers and all their 3 fans are very excited after what they saw from Justin Herbert this past weekend. Now, look, I was impressed too, but you guys need to put the brakes on it. Slow down a little bit before talking all this crazy stuff about him. Because look, he started last second. The Chiefs probably didn't even know he was going to play until the couple minutes before the game. There's no film on this guy coming into the NFL. They don't know how this guy's going to play. They don't know what to expect. They weren't planning for him, and I think that they just weren't ready. We need to see how he does when teams finally have film on him, and that will be the test next week or whenever he plays again. All right, I'm just going to do a quick little segment here on the Bills. Josh Allen is finally reaching that potential that I knew he had. This guy, he still has a little bit of accuracy issues here and there, but this guy is the real deal. He's a guy who can lead the Bills to the Super Bowl. He's got a cannon of an arm, great leadership, and he's a truck when he's running, all right? This guy, he needs to protect the football a little better with his fumbles, but he's been playing lights out so far this year, and very excited to see what the Bills can do further down the line this season if they can keep up with the success that they've had so far. The man, the myth, the legend, the stash, the ultimate Florida man, Gardner Minshew. No matter what you do, you can release their best players. You can trade them, release them, do whatever you want, but he will not roll over and just die. This man is anti-tank, the ultimate leader of men that leads the Jacksonville Jaguars down a path of just mediocrity. Gardner Minshew. Look, all right. Gardner Minshew, man, I love this guy, okay? Aside from all the memes and how much of a badass he is and just the stash, the hair, just everything about this guy is just, you can't, you can't not love this guy. If you don't love this guy, you seriously, I think you have some issues. Leonard Fournette. But when you sit back and watch his play and stuff, he's the only reason the Jaguars have been competing in weeks 1 and 2. This guy is keeping them in games, kept up with them against Indianapolis, who just put a banking on the Minnesota Vikings, and he kept them in a game against the Titans, who went all the way to that AFC Championship last year, right? No matter what the Jaguars do, as like releasing all and trading all their best players and just keeping this guy and like clearly trying to tank for Trevor Lawrence, it's not working. He's gonna keep them in games. He's gonna win you too many games to where you're not gonna be able to get rid of him, and that's like. That's a good thing. If I'm a Jaguars fan, I am rooting for this guy. I want this team to win as many games as possible. Even though like you have a lot of like things you need to improve on this team. If you guys get a high draft pick, you're gonna get rid of Minshew because your general manager is that stupid. All right, but if I had full control of the Jaguars right now, I'd wipe everything clean. Coaching staff, every single person in that coaching staff gone. Every single person in the front office gone. The owner needs to sell the team. The owner has no business owning a football team. He just does not know football. All right, this guy, I don't even know how did he even get the Jaguars. Like how does this guy end up buying a football team? He's the last guy that needs to own a football team because he does not know football. All right, but that's besides the point. Minshew, man, it's been damn near perfect. I know he threw a couple interceptions this past week, but they weren't really his fault. He's keeping the Jaguars in games, and if I'm a Jaguars fan, I'm excited for him being your quarterback. Honestly, I love this guy, and I'm really rooting for him because if Jacksonville ruins Gardner Minshew, I will personally raid the streets of Jacksonville. All right, let's not actually threat the whole entire city of Jacksonville, but I will. I will march in the Jacksonville Stadium and give them a piece of my mind. All right? Don't you dare ruin this national treasure that we have that is Gardner Minshew. I would take Gardner Minshew over Kyler Murray and Daniel Jones. Call me crazy, all right? I love Daniel Jones too, but I just take him. This guy is the ultimate leader. He can get guys want to rally behind this guy because he's just awesome. And that's honestly that's his best quality. He's a leader, and I really think moving forward the Jacksonville Jaguars can be a successful team. But what's holding them back is they need their coaching staff, the front office, and the owner. Yeah. Look, the only optimism you have is Gardner Minshew, man. I'm sorry, Jags fans. Good luck. Anyways, guys, that's my week 2 kind of review. I know it sounded a little like all over the place, still trying to get the hang of this, just kind of like settling down, I'm starting to once I start doing these more and more, I'll know what I need to do for script wise and what I need to write down because I just have a few short notes right in front of me. I just go all over the place. I need to get better at what I want to say before, but I would love to have a partner. I'd love to be able to sit down with somebody I can bounce my thoughts off of. But anyways, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you guys next week.